Hi guys, this is Random Chat and I'm Darren. And yes, I am still alive after the assassination attempt. It was a near miss. It wasn't a Donald Trump ear-piercing miss. It just missed me by just a few inches. Haven't got a clue who tried the assassination attempt on my life, but they missed. So I'm making yet another video. Obviously, the assassination attempt on my life was simply because it hit too many raw nerves when it comes to Keir Starmer. Do have my suspicions who it was. It was one or two people, and I have my very best investigation team looking at it at the moment, and apparently they have come up with evidence to prove who was a possible culprit who targeted me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to watch my previous video and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Right, to the serious part of this video. It is going to be another one on the lines of a political side. And no, Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner, you are possibly on the safe side in this video. But who knows? Anything might crop up whilst I'm making it. I'm not running on a script. And before I start, I would like to thank all those people who've clicked the subscribe button. I didn't think YouTube would be promoting this channel, pushing it out, and I didn't think anyone was really watching it, but within a short period of time of my previous video, a few people have clicked on that subscribe button, so massive thank you to you guys. And I've had quite a few positive comments on what the video content was about, so huge thank you to you all. So feel free, if you're watching this video, to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. You can also add comments and give it a thumbs up if you like what's in the content. You can also give me some ideas on what sort of thing you would like me to put on Random Chat. So let's get into the discussion of what I'm going to talk about today. And yes, it is a video on the contents of what I've seen on YouTube. And yes, it has to be YouTube because I don't know if any of you have really noticed, but there seems to be a total blackout on the information that's going out on the television, on the proper news. So if you want to find out what's going on, you have to go onto YouTube, because for some reason, the news, the reporters are keeping things very quiet. There is a complete and utter blackout. Well, I say they're keeping things quiet. They're quite happy to tell you when it's white people protesting. And they're happy to tell you when it's white people being arrested. They'll even show you all the faces. They'll put a wall of shame up. But that's as far as the news will go. They don't tell you anything else. But what I've seen, which is a bit of a concern for all of us really, is the fact that there are lots of Islamic demonstrations going on across the country. Lots of flag waving. Lots of people marching the streets, preaching about their belief system. And many people have said this is basically a takeover. And I will agree, it does come across as a total invasion and takeover of Britain. It is going to be an annihilation of the Christian culture. They will not stop until this country is an Islamic country. This country will belong to the Muslim people, and the Christianity will be non-existent. And I know some people might think this is a bit far-fetched, but it has happened to Britain before. Christianity was not the original belief system to Britain. The ancient belief system in this country, a religion, whatever you should call it, was paganism. People did not worship Jesus Christ. They worshipped gods, such as Woden. Or if you're a Norse person, in Viking times, they worshipped Odin. So originally, this country was pagan. And if you look how Christianity got to this country, it didn't come here on a nice, friendly conversion. It came here with pain. And what I mean by pain, they tortured people, the Christians, to force them into their belief system. They took things away from them because these pagans, these heathens, whatever you wish to call them, had no God in the Christians' eyes. So anything that the pagans had, and the Christians wanted it, the Christians took it because they were heathens, they were pagans, they had no rights. So Christianity hasn't got here through love and peace and friendliness, forgive those who trespass against us, and so on. It came here with pain and torture. But then we are talking a very long time ago. And this is now happening here with the Islamic community. How many people have been basically slaughtered by Islamic extremists in this country? And I know this might be classified as blasphemy by saying that, simply because certain people don't want things to be released, do they? Hence the reason why we have the news blackouts. So eventually, it does seem that it's possible that there will be an Islamic takeover and this country will become Muslim based. Now the problem with that is, do you, the Western people, want to become Muslim? Do you want to live by Islamic rules? I know in the past we were forced to go by Christian rules in our country, but this was a very long time ago. This was in the Dark Ages. And unfortunately, there are parts of the Islamic belief system that still does belong in the Dark Ages. Hence the reason why, in realistic terms, Islam does not belong within the Western world. It is not ready to live in the modern world because of some of its beliefs and some of the laws they have within the Muslim community. And I don't mean that in the sense of being anti-Islam. I am just telling you the truth. I'm speaking my mind. We've all seen some of the extreme behavior that comes from Muslim people towards the Western world. They follow certain parts within the Quran that does not preach any sort of friendliness towards people who are non-Muslim. There's part of the Quran that says not to make friends with non-Muslims. This is one of the reasons why so many people coming to this country who are not Christians do not diverse, but they don't want to integrate with us. But back to what I was saying about the takeover by the Islamic community and this country becoming Muslim. Just picture it, ladies. No more going out to the nightclubs. You will not be able to go out all tarted up looking nice. If you've got any bare flesh showing on your body out in the general public, well, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? You've only got to see how they treat people in Islamic countries, especially women. So if you're going out showing any skin when you're going out to your nightclubs, you're going to end up with stones thrown at you if this becomes an Islamic country. And I know that might be very extreme to say this, but it's true. But then you wouldn't actually be going out to any nightclubs, would you? Because there won't be any nightclubs. All the nightclubs and all the pubs in this country will no longer exist. Alcohol would be a criminal offence. It would be banned. So technically, ladies, you would not be going out to any nightclubs. All you'll be doing is staying home and providing food for your husband and providing children for him and nothing more. That goes for you guys as well. There'll be no going to football matches and then going to the pub afterwards or before and having a few beers. But it will not just stop there with the beers, will it? If you like your bacon rolls, your sausage sandwiches or anything pork based, well, that won't happen anymore because pork will be banned in this country. And let's get back to the ladies. Well, you can change your wardrobe. Everything in your wardrobe you can chuck away. All you would need is a bed sheet, and that's about it. Make your own burqa up. Don't buy one, just go make one. Just get a few bed sheets and make your own, because that will be your fashion. That or a hijab. Depends how extreme a Muslim you end up being. And also your freedom of speech as female. Well, I know freedom of speech in this country is totally gone out the window now, but as a Muslim woman, you probably won't have any freedom of speech because basically you'll just be a second-class citizen towards any men. And guys, you will end up having to go to the mosque every single day and play the game of Guess Who. If you've ever played it, then you know exactly what I mean. It'll be one of those things where the question is, does this person have a clean shaven face? No, 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 no. Because compulsory, you will have to grow a beard. It is sort of on the correct manner. I'm just having a bit of a laugh. But it does, in all honesty, seem to be an invasion, a takeover. You've only got to go on YouTube and see how bad things are in this country. There was one case in which a gang of Muslim people who targeted children, grooming them for prostitution. They eventually got caught and eventually went to prison. A combined sentence between, I think it was 6 or 8 members of this group had only around 104 years. These people only got a very short sentence. If you break it down, 104 years between, say, 6 people, time off with good behaviour, they got very little time whatsoever. And what will happen? They will come out of prison and start all over again. There was one piece of evidence given from one of the victims, how she was groomed from the age of 12 years old, and then she was shared around amongst all these men so they could use her for their pleasure. This was done in court, and apparently these people, I won't say what I think of them, in the court had their families in there and their children in there. Surely their wives, their children would feel disgusted by their husband, their father, for what they had done to these children. But then they were white children. They had no meaning. So abusing these children didn't count. Hence the reason why there was no guilt or remorse for their crime. And that court case brings me to another point I would like to bring up. If this country ever become an Islamic state, in one Islamic country, it is legal for a man to take a wife of 8 years old. Legally, I could marry an 8-year-old little girl. Legally, I could have sex with an 8-year-old little girl, because under this certain law in this Islamic country, it is acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's disgusting. It is abuse. It is taking a childhood away from a young girl. It is taking innocence away from a young girl. So if this became an Islamic state, is that what you want for your children, for your daughters? There is also the fact that a woman humiliates their husband. She can be legally whipped, beaten, stones thrown at her in the streets, punished for her disrespectful behavior. Is this the right way to treat women? There is no equality within certain Islamic culture. It is just the men who own everything. It is men who have the power, and women you're just there to breed with and to make sure there is food for your master, basically. In one aspect, it's glorified slavery. And yes, this is normal in certain countries. This is how they live, and we have to respect that in their country. Don't bring it here to our country. Don't expect us to put up with these sort of rules, these sort of laws, this sort of behavior. This is a Christian country for now, and I can safely say if we are ever totally taken over by the Islamic State and this country does become an Islam-based country, there is no way you will catch me becoming a Muslim. For a start, I like my bacon sandwiches too much, and I'm not going to give them up. And I definitely like my beer from time to time. So whilst we still have a Christian country, enjoy your pubs before they become mosques. And if you're a Christian, enjoy your churches before they become mosques. And if you like your beer or wine, enjoy it whilst it's there, whilst it's legal. Because whilst it's a Christian country, we have the freedom to have these luxuries. But if we do become an Islamic country, these luxuries will disappear very quickly. And believe me, if we think Keir Starmer is a tyrant going by his new rules and regulations, just imagine what this country will be like under Islamic ruling, because we would have to abide by their laws and their rules and their way of life. And I know this might be classified as blasphemy by saying what I've said. And yes, this possibly could put me at risk to being arrested, because we all know we cannot say anything negative regards to Islam. But it's a risk I take when I speak my mind. It's a risk we all take. I would like to hear from some of you guys on your views on this video and what I've said. Do you agree or disagree? Are you happy with this country if it did become an Islamic state? Or do you want to keep it as a Christian country, what it has been for a very long time? But at present, we are slowly becoming outnumbered as the numbers of Muslim people coming to this country grow daily, and as they all link and join up this takeover, will we have the power to be able to keep this country as a Christian country? We all know that we can't rely on the government or the police to support keeping this country as Christian. The latest government will just roll over and say tickle my belly and agree to any terms, and the police will just do as they're told. Feel free to add some comments on what you think about what I've just said. I know I wanted to avoid the politics side and the religious side, but the way things are going, I thought I'd put my couple of pennies in. And I think the more people that speak up about what's going on in this country, we might stand a chance of being able to keep this country as Christian, because somebody eventually will start to listen. And somebody with some morals will put their foot down and say, enough is enough. And I'm not talking about violence or negativity sort of element towards anybody of a different culture. I'm on about the government saying no more flying your flags in this country, no more humiliating Christians, no more targeting white people, no more domineering our streets, causing mayhem with your protests. You imagine the cost when a demonstration goes on in the middle of London and these people are shutting that city down, thousands and thousands of them, waving their flags, obstructing everything, intimidating white British people simply because of the colour of their skin. This shouldn't happen in Britain. I could expect it in an Islamic country, yes, but here it shouldn't happen, should it? This country's become an embarrassment. But the only problem is we are stuck with Labour for 5 years. And as we all know, they're quite pro-Islamic. They're quite pro on destroying British culture. So they need to go. But the only issue is we cannot replace them with a Conservative government. For many years I've been pro-Conservative. But let's face it, they became just as bad as the Labour government. Just not as extreme as what Starmer is. But the Conservatives quite happily let this country be flooded with illegals. Oh yes, it did a lot of talking. It did a lot of saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But when it came down to it, did they stop all these boats coming here? And the answer is no. Yes, they put the threats in place. And then Keir Starmer come along and took those threats straight away and demolished it all. So even more boats came. So can we trust anyone else to run this country? because we know that any politician will tell you anything to get you to tick that box. You've only got to look what Keir Starmer did with all his little lies to get the ticks. And once he got the ticks, what did he do? He put two fingers up to us and laughed, basically, when he may as well done. So let's see what happens, shall we? Will Keir Starmer destroy this country even more to such a level that 5 years' time that no party, whoever it is, who takes over next, can save this country? And let's see, in 5 years' time, will we still be a Christian country? Or will we be forced to start worshipping Allah? But let's hope it doesn't come to that. But unfortunately, it is slowly looking more and more to the way of Islam in this country. Where are the thousands and thousands of Christians going out on the streets, standing up for who they are? You don't see it, do you? Probably because they're not allowed to. Anti-white police probably will not allow white Christians to go out and defend their rights to be Christian. They're also probably too scared to, because you can just imagine what will happen. You go out preaching Christianity, and the next thing you know, you may end up just getting stabbed for your belief, just to get rid of you. And I know that might be a bit harsh by saying that, but anything is possible these days in this country, isn't it? That's enough of the doom and gloom from me. I just thought I'll make another video airing my views on what I saw regards to the Islamic takeover here in Britain. So feel free, add some comments. Let me know if you think this country is slowly being taken over. Are we slowly moving towards the fact that Christianity will be eliminated from Britain? Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you like the contents. Hit that subscribe button if you want to follow this channel, click that notification bell, and let me know what you want me to talk about here in Random Chat. Take care, thank you for watching guys, and bye for now.